Hello, hello, hello. It's Kev again. Time for another video. Get that out of the way. Okay. So, introduction number 43 of our third series of 101 introductions. If you haven't seen these before, this latest series, we're tracking down all the newly reported IELTS essay topics and writing about them and inviting people from our Telegram group, Outline Pro, to submit some writings for some comments and review. Okay, so violence in the media promotes violence in society. Well, do you agree? Let's find out. So, you can read this later on. That's your thesis. That's your introduction. Okay, let's get straight down to business. Right. Violence in the media, prominent sensational topic, capturing significant public attention. Some argue that it promotes violence in society. In my view, it can certainly do this, particularly when coverage amplifies the notoriety. So, I'm not saying that it entirely does it, and the media is the only thing responsible, but as we'll see in my examples, one way it can do this is, as I say, when it amplifies the notoriety. In fact, I wrote this a little while back, and what I should have included is, as an example, there was that Italian guy, I can't remember his name, Mangione, I think, who murdered that healthcare company, insurance company CEO in America a few weeks back. And the way that he was lionized, especially by the lefties, as being a hero, even though he was in fact a murderer. That would have maybe been a good illustration of this also. But anyway, for our purpose, I've got something else to talk about. So, paraphrase the topic, tell you what I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to read it all out, but main idea, explain. Now, example, Columbine. Now, this has inspired many copycats. It's happened in Russia, in China, in several countries around the world, even in America. There's been more. So the attackers got all this media kind of. So just in case you don't know, there's a few, I can't really remember if it was 2 or 3 high school freaks or dropouts, some goth weirdos, went on a shooting spree, and can't remember how many they actually shot or killed, but Columbine was a famous example. I say, maybe I should have used a more recent one, but I was trying to write this in the same way that you would do in your exam, so that's what came to mind. Anyway, so as you can see here, that's an example of how violence in the media, especially focusing on these Columbine guys, that did in fact inspire several copycats. So, not so good. Now, next paragraph, I say, it's important, while this undoubtedly does have a role, there's other factors too. I was watching some Godzilla film last night, and when I woke up this morning, I didn't have any urge to go out and destroy the center of Rome or whatever. I watch war films all the time. Doesn't inspire me to invade Poland or go and shoot anybody. So maybe it's more for kids, which is why we've got age limits on certain games and films, etc. But anyway, as I said, millions of people watch violent stuff and they don't commit any violence. Other factors, however, may come into play. So, in conclusion, blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm not going to read it all out, 290 words. I'll put it all on the screen so you can freeze it and you can read it all later on. Okay, so that'll do for the time being. Now, one of our members wrote a new essay, well, new for them. Now, it's not bad, but there's some collocations that don't really work, some vocab that doesn't sort of work. Let's have a look. So, this opening sentence we don't really need. Okay, what's that got to do with the topic? Now, a showcase of acting violently. That's not very good as a phrase. Showcase, okay. I firmly support. Now, vicious examples. Can an example really be a vicious one? Okay, so I put relative pronoun there. Platforms that people spend hours on. The less, the higher, the more than, the less than. So I put an article there. A great point to initiate. A great point to initiate. And you've got a great part. Now, the acts of maltreatment witnessed in the materials is a great part of a food for our brains. Do you mean it influences people? Because we wouldn't really use that in an academic essay. Is a great part of food for our brains. Adolescents were a famous figure who has it all, acts up, shows up acting violently. Okay, so it's okay. Now, I'm strongly for the idea of the so you are for the idea of aggression in the media. So you can agree with the premise, but you can't be strongly for it, strongly for the idea, as you're in favour of it. You can agree or disagree. Keep an eye on behavioural patterns. Okay, so that's not too bad. Just some of the phrasing, perhaps, might be changed. Now I've got a few introductions, some other people here. Okay, now, like I say, it doesn't say that in the topics when you're paraphrasing. You don't need to actually, you could put that in your answer to the question. Alright, that's what you could do. That would fit better. Instead of putting it in your paraphrase, well, it doesn't actually say that. You can put it here. I strongly contend that the media is responsible, although socio-economic factors are more substantial. So I would put that there instead of putting that in your paraphrase. So the media, so it's always a definite article. So it's like the newspapers, the television, the radio, the media, the internet, etc. All these mediums usually have a definite article. Okay. Now, to advocate for means that you are arguing in favour of something. So you wouldn't argue for a direct link between media consumption and aggression. You could agree that there is a direct link, but you can't advocate for a direct link between this. You can acknowledge there's a link, but advocate means to be in favour of something, like advocate. Like in several languages, the name for a lawyer is advocate, someone who advocates. So we can't really use that. Veracious statement. Veracious in collocation with statements doesn't really work. But okay, that one's good. That aside, that's good also. Like I say, you can't really advocate for it. But, apart from that, that's good. Like I say, I would maybe take that bit and put it somewhere like, put it in your answer to the question, and just leave the paraphrase as it is in the topic. Okie doke. Right, well, that's it for today. I'll just put this back on the screen. There's a new topic. Can't remember what it is exactly. But there'll be another video, I don't know, maybe next week now. We don't have a lot of response of a new topic. So, anyway, hope that helps. See you next time, number 44. Okay?